does it feel? It doesn't matter. It's just funny when it was ease. That's the best.
That's the best.
Hi, everybody. It is Thursday. We got one more day until Friday. Today we're going to be doing a strength building class. So it's going to be similar to like if you've ever taken a yoga sculpt. It'll be similar to that. We're not going to use any props, any weights or anything. We will use props. We just won't use like weights or resistance bands. It's just going to be full body weight. So we're definitely going to sweat. So you may need a towel or some water nearby. And we're going to be working on what I like to call foundational strength. And what that means is that we're working all the muscles in the body that are going to support our joints and help us with our posture, help us with balance and stability. So it's all of those muscles that you need to walk about your life in a comfortable and a comfortable way with good posture and have good balance and all that stuff. So, and foundational strength is also foundations for other physical activities. So if you have a stronger core, a lot of other things will be easier. If you have a foundational strength in your glutes and in your legs, walking, hiking, running, all of that stuff will be a lot easier. So we'll work shoulders, core, glutes, and legs. So essentially all of those areas that are supporting your body, keeping you upright, and supporting your knees, your hips, and your shoulders, like those joint spaces. We're just going to get started in a standing at the top of our mat. We're going to warm up by doing some sun salutations, and then we're going to get full into a strength building flow. So again, prepare to sweat and have some water nearby. So we're going to get started standing at the top of our mat. Take your feet about hips width distance apart. So that's usually about, if you take your fists together and place them in between your hands, it's usually about the distance. Your second toes should be right in line with your front hip bones. So right here are those front hip bones. And then you're just going to take a soft bend into the knees. Find all four corners of your feet, like lift your toes up off of the mat and sort of peel them down so that you have a nice foundation in your feet. And then see if you can take your tailbone down towards your heels and pull your navel in towards your spine. And then take your arms out by your sides with your palms facing forward. See if you can engage your legs, your quads, so pulling your kneecaps up towards your hips without locking out the knees. Take your shoulders down your back and your shoulder blades together. And close your eyes. Start to take some deeper breaths through your nose. Just bringing all of your awareness to your feet and how those feet are grounding into the mat, how you're feeling support and stability from your mat in this upright position. Noticing any parts of the body that are feeling tight or tired or sore in any way, just taking note of those parts of the body and remembering those throughout the class. If you ever feel like you're in pain, just back out of whatever you're doing. But if you're just uncomfortable and you're challenging yourself, just come back to that conscious breathing that we're doing right now. Take a big inhale breath through your nose. And then a big exhale breath out of your mouth. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out of the mouth. Slowly start to open the eyes. On your next inhale breath, reach your arms up overhead with the palms facing one another. And then as you exhale, take your hands together and start to hinge forward at the hips and bow forward all the way down to a forward fold. Let your fingertips graze the floor. And then as you inhale, you're just going to rise halfway up. Take your palms and place them right on your shins and just come halfway up so that you can find a long straight spine and a flat back. And then as you exhale, you're just going to fold forward once again, dropping the fingertips back down towards the earth. On your next inhale breath, you're going to rise all the way back up to standing. The arms come up overhead. And then as you exhale, palms come to touch down the center of your face in front of your heart in prayer. Inhale breath, sweep the arms up overhead. And then exhale, start to hinge forward, bow all the way down into a forward fold. On your next inhale breath, come into that halfway lift, just finding or rising up halfway so you can find a long flat back. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale brings you all the way back up to standing. Arms come up overhead. Biceps are next to the ears. And then as you exhale, draw your hands to center in front of your heart in prayer. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, folding all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, all the way up. And then exhale, hands come through prayer in front of your heart. Inhale, sweeping the arms up overhead, reaching up. And then exhale, bow forward all the way down. Inhale, come up halfway, lift. And then as you exhale, this time you're going to plant your hands onto the mat. Step your feet back into a high plank position. And then you have two options here. You can stay in high plank or lower the knees. As we do this sun salutation, we're just adding on some additional strength building here. So we're going to do 3 chaturanga push-ups or tricep push-ups. And before we move into our upward facing dog or cobra. So you have that option to lower the knees as we do these push-ups. So from high plank, take an inhale breath. Exhale, shift your shoulders forward past your fingertips and lower halfway down into that chaturanga or tricep push-up. Do not let your shoulders dip below your elbows. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, press back up to plank. Inhale, breath. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, press back up to plank. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower halfway, flip your toes, and then come up into upward facing dog, peeling your chest forward, broadening at the collarbones, taking the shoulders away from the ears, pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the kneecaps off of the mat. And then as you exhale, pressing back into downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, check to see if your palms are at shoulder width distance apart with your fingers spread wide. Your gaze should be back at your toes. Ears should be in line with the biceps. See if you can spin your biceps up towards the ceiling and your triceps down towards the mat. See if you can work your heels down towards the mat. You don't necessarily need to have them flat on the mat. Just work them in that direction. And press out of the hands to see if you can get long in the spine and lift your hips up even higher. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Have a soft bend into the knees. And we're breathing here. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. On your next inhale breath, come into that halfway lift. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to standing, arms come up overhead. And then as you exhale, hands come through prayer in front of your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat, step your feet back into high plank position. Inhale, breath. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Last one. Exhale, lower. Flip your toes. Press into upward facing dog. Collarbones are broadened. Shoulder blades are together. Tops of the feet flat on the mat. And then as you exhale, using the strength of your core, send your hips high. Come back to downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. And big deep breath out. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. As you inhale, come into that halfway lift. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to standing, arms come up overhead. And then exhale, hands come in prayer in front of your heart. I'm going to move through that one more time. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat, step back to high plank. Inhale and plank. Exhale, shift your shoulders past your fingers, lower halfway. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Flip the feet. Press into upward facing dog. Heart shines forward. Chin is tucked. And then as you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Flipping the toes along the way. Using the strength of that low belly to pull you up and back. Deep breathing here. One more breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to flip over the toes, lower your knees to tabletop pose. Untuck your back toes. Start to reach your right arm forward, like you're shaking somebody's hand. And then start to reach that left leg back. Keep that left foot flexed. Drop your left hip so that it's right in line with the right. So we want a neutral pelvis that's parallel to the mat. Lift your left leg up through the inner thigh. And then extend backwards through the heel. Pull your belly in towards your spine and really press out of that left palm. So you can almost puff up the upper back and keep a long, flat back. Deep breath in through your nose. And deep breath out. Inhale. Exhale out. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, release both the arm and the leg. Inhale, start to reach the left arm forward and extend the right leg back. So again, we want to drop that right hip so that it's right in line with the left. Lift the right leg through the inner thigh. Flex into that foot and extend through the heel behind you. Keep reaching that left arm forward. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Press out of that right hand to puff the upper back up slightly. Deep breath in and out the nose. Take one more deep breath in. And then exhale, release. Go ahead and flip your palms backwards so that your fingertips are facing your knees. If this is too much for you, just flip them to the side so that they're facing the outer edges of your mat. Otherwise, flip them back. You're going to tuck your toes underneath you and just start to rock back and forth towards your heels. We're just warming up the wrists. We're going to be here for a little bit. Oh, the Instacart guy's here.
Instacart?
Yes. 1 second. Hi, thank you. I mean, it's okay. I mean, sorry guys, we're Instacart delivery. 1 second. So if you're still in that position, just keep rocking back and forth. And then eventually you're going to flip your palm. You can untuck the toes here. Flip the palms completely so that the tops of your hands are on the mat. And then you can start to rock and roll back and forth. Yay! Sorry, everyone. Don't worry.
Excuse us.
And then release that. Flip the palms back to normal. And then walk your hands out a little bit farther towards the front of your mat. Tuck your back toes under. Start to lift your knees and straighten your legs. Press back to downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, breath out. Inhale, start to shift forward back into plank pose. And we're just going to hold in plank for a couple breaths. So in plank, high plank pose, your shoulders should be stacked right over the wrists. The hands, also if this is difficult for you, you can always drop the knees. The hands should be about right underneath your shoulders. Fingertips are spread wide. Tailbone is, your hips are dropping low and your tailbone is pulling down towards your heels. Low belly is in towards your spine. See if you can reach your collarbones forward any amount. Take a deep breath in through your nose. We're holding here for just a few more breaths. And exhale out. Breath in. And breath out. Last breath. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to press back to downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out. Deep breath in. And then exhale, shift forward, high plank pose. This time, we're going to lower onto our forearms and come into a forearm plank. So make the number 11 with your forearms. So fingers are facing forward, and same concept here. We want to drop those hips low. Press into the forearms, press into the hands, and see if you can take your tailbone down towards your heels. Reach your heels back. See if you can pull your collarbones forward. And we're just holding here for a couple breaths. The shakes are okay. I'm already shaking. Deep breath in through the nose. And then as you exhale, just release your hips down to the mat. Untuck your toes and come into Sphinx pose. So we should pretty much already be there. So let your forearms are in the same shape here. We're just pressing our pubic bone into the mat, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. So much so that your kneecaps lift off of the mat. See if you can drag your forearms and your hands towards your ribcage so that you pull your chest forward. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more time, inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to release. Take your Forehead to the earth, and then take your palms next to your rib cage. Tuck your back toes under. Pull your belly in towards your spine. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. See if you can pull your ribs together. And in one long exhale breath, you're going to press up to plank pose from here. So it's a push up from all the way down. So take an inhale breath. Pull your belly in, and then exhale, press up to plank pose. One quick breath. We're going to hold in plank for 3 deep breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale out. Lower down to the forearms. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale out. Inhale 3. Exhale. We're going to turn onto our right side into side plank on the forearm. So you're going to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. Take your right arm and sort of make it at an angle, the forearm. And then you can always drop that right knee down. Stack your left leg on top of the right. Left arm comes to your hip or reaches up overhead. And we're holding for 5 breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale. Lift your hips up even higher. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. Inhale 5. Exhale. Come back down to forearm plank and then roll onto the left side, outer left side or outer edge of your left hip. Left forearm comes down to the mat at an angle. Stack that right leg on top of the left. Option to drop the left knee. Right arm comes to the hip or reaches up overhead. Take your tailbone down towards your heels. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale. Inhale 4. Exhale out. Last breath. Inhale 5. And then exhale, roll back onto your forearms. We're holding for 3, for 2, and 1. And then just drop your hips low, untuck your back toes. We're coming into that Sphinx pose once again. Press the pubic bone into the mat, tops of the feet into the mat. Pull your chest and your collarbone forward. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Deep breath in through your nose. And then exhale, slowly start to release. Take your forehead to the mat. Hands are next to your ribs. Tuck your back toes under. Start to pull that belly in towards the spine. With one long exhale, or with one quick exhale, we're going to press back up into plank. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, pull your belly in, press back to a high plank pose. And then as you exhale, next exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Deep breath in. If you would like to exhale out the mouth to release a little bit of that heat, now is a good time. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out. One more breath here, inhale. And as you exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, come into that halfway lift. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. The arms come up overhead. And then exhale, hands come through prayer in front of your heart. Okay, so we're going to move through a little bit of a flow now. We're going to focus more on the legs and the glutes. And we'll come back to the core right at the end. We're going to sit in a chair pose. So chair pose, you have 2 options depending on the conditions of your knees. You can either have your feet hips width distance apart and sit in chair like a squat, or you can take your toes to touch. This is the more traditional yogi way. Toes to touch, heels slightly apart, and sit back that way. So in chair pose, our hips are sitting low, like we're literally sitting into a chair. Weight is all the way into the heels, so much so that you can lift your toes off of the mat. Hips are sitting low, And make sure that your knees are not going past your toes. So you want to be able to see your toes right now. And then you're going to start to reach your arms forward and then up in line with your ears. And if you can't, this is pretty challenging for you because you have tight shoulders, take your arms wide like a V. Pull your navel in towards your spine and take your tailbone down towards the earth so that you have a flatter back. So we don't want this curve of the lumbar to happen in chair. We want to pull everything up in towards the midline of our body nice and tight. So deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to take the weight to your right foot and hover the left foot. And then with control, you're going to step that left foot back to a high lunge. Arms come up overhead. Bend generously into that left knee. And just bounce a little bit here to let that left quad and that left hip flexor open up a little bit. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to lean forward and shift forward so that you're sort of hovering over that right knee, but your belly is not resting there and your arms are still forward. So weight should be mostly in that right foot. You're going to take your hands into prayer and then step up to warrior three. So warrior three is our left leg lifted off of the mat. Left leg and our upper body are parallel with one another. Left foot is flexed, and we're lifting that left foot through the inner thigh. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Drop that left hip so that it's in line with the right. Keep a nice soft bend in that right foot knee. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, you're going to take your knee, or bend into the right knee, and then draw that left knee towards your right calf. I couldn't think of what it was. For a little squat. And then as you exhale, you're going to straighten the leg. Take an inhale, breath. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, straighten the leg for warrior three. And then exhale, squat. Inhale, straighten one last time. Exhale, squat. Inhale, straighten the leg, and then step back to high lunge once again. Frame your front foot with your hands. You're going to step that right foot back to high plank. Shift forward, lowering halfway down. Inhale, upward facing or low cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a deep breath out. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, come up all the way. Arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, hands come in prayer in front of your heart. As you inhale, sit down into that chair pose. Arms reach up forward, navel is towards the spine. Hips are sitting low, weight is in the heels. Look down and make sure you can see your toes. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Start to shift the weight to your left foot. Hover the right foot. And then step that right leg back with control for high lunge. Bend the right knee and just start to bounce a little bit so that you can start to open up that right quad and that right hip flexor. Hips are square to the front of the room. Right heel is lifted. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Inhale, slowly start to tilt forward to that 45-degree angle. Weight should be mostly in the left foot. Pull your navel in towards your spine. The strong core here. Take your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Start to shift forward even more to step up to warrior three. So right leg should be lifted this time. Navel is in towards the spine. Right foot is flexed. We're lifting that right foot through the inner thigh. Soft bend in the left knee. Inhale, breath. And then exhale, we're squatting down. So this time, right knee to left calf. Inhale, straighten the leg, warrior three. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, squat. One more time. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, squat. Inhale, straighten the leg, and then just step back. High lunge position. Frame the front foot with your hands. Step that left foot back for high plank. And then move through your vinyasa, lowering halfway. Inhaling into upward facing dog. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Deep breath in through your nose. And exhale out. You always have the option to take child's pose to rest. Take a breather. This is your practice. You don't have to push yourself all the way through unless you really want to. Feel free to take breath or breaks. Deep breath in. Deep breathing out. In your next exhale breath, walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, come into that halfway lift. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to standing, come all the way up. And then as you exhale, hands come through prayer in front of your heart. Inhale into chair pose, sit your hips low. Start to shift the weight into your right foot. Hovering the left. Step back, high lunge. Inhale through your nose. As you exhale, start to tip forward to that 45-degree angle. Weight is in the right foot. Take your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Start to shift forward. Come onto the tippy toes of your left foot and step up for warrior three. Left leg is lifted. Left hip is squared with the right. Right in line with the right. Left foot is flexed. Lift the left leg through the inner thigh. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Inhale, breath. Exhale, squat down, left knee to right calf. I always forget what that body part is called. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, squat down. You should definitely feel this in the right glute. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, squat. One more. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, straighten the leg. And step back for high lunge. Frame your front foot with your hands. Step that right foot back to meet the left. And then move through your variation of Vinyasa. Moving halfway. Inhaling into upward dog and exhaling to downward facing dog. Deep breaths in and out. At the end of your last exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, come into that halfway lift. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reaching the arms up overhead. And then exhale, hands come in front of your heart. Inhale into chair pose. The arms come up overhead. Sit your hips low, weight is in the heels, navel towards the spine. Look down, make sure your knees are not past your toes. Deep breath in. And then start to shift the weight to the right foot. Hover the left, step that left foot back for high lunge. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, start to tip forward. Weights should be mostly on that right foot. Take your hands in prayer in front of your heart. Come up onto the left tippy toes. And step that right foot or left foot. Did we already do this one? Right. Yes, we did. Sorry. You should be stepping your right foot back. You think? Yeah. And stepping into warrior three with the left foot forward. My bad. And then as you exhale, you're going to squat that right knee down to meet the left calf. Inhale, straighten the leg. And exhale, squat down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, squat. Inhale, straighten. Last one. Exhale, squat. Inhale, straighten the leg. And then step back, high lunge. Frame your left foot with your hands. Step the left foot back to meet the right. And then move through chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, breath through your nose. And exhale out. Inhaling. And exhale out. Last breath, inhale. Exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, come up halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale to rise. Arms come up overhead. And then exhale, hands come through prayer from your heart. Just gonna keep adding on from here. Again, if you need to take a break for a moment, grab some water, please do that. I'm gonna do it too, it's pretty hot. Okay. Remaining at the top of your mat, sit your hips low in a chair pose. Inhale, start to shift away to your left foot. Cover the right, and then step that right foot back for high lunge. Start to shift forward, tip forward at that 90-degree angle. Take your hands in front of your heart. Step up the right leg. I'm so confused now. Can we do this already? This side? I think we need to go on the other side. So, oh my God, I'm really screwing up. Okay. Right foot should be forward. We're in warrior three with our right leg forward. Left leg is lifted. I'm struggling. So this time, instead of doing those squats, we're gonna slowly tip upright, keeping that right leg lifted. Slowly tip upright and start to reach our left leg forward for one-legged mountain pose. So we're gonna basically swivel a few times rather than doing the squats. We're gonna swivel from here to here, back and forth a couple times. And what this is sort of emulating, it's almost like a deadlift. But it activates your hamstrings, it activates your back muscles, your core muscles, and your outer hips, your outer glutes. So we're here in one-legged mountain pose. Take an inhale breath. If you'd like to straighten the leg for an extra challenge, that's always a good thing. And then we're gonna start to shift backwards for warrior three. Inhale, start to tip forward. You're sort of swinging like a pendulum. This is a lot of balance work. And then start to tip back for warrior three. Slow and with control. You don't need to rush through this. If you start to wiggle and wobble, that's totally okay. We're just swinging back and forth. We're going to do this one more round. Eventually, one more time forward. And then swing back. And then we're going to start to bend into that front knee, that right knee. Place the left foot back at a 45-degree angle and open up for warrior two. So in warrior two, our left heel or back heel should be in line with our our left arch, back arch should be in line with our front heel. Turn your torso to face the right side of the left side of the room. Arms are open out wide like a T. And then turn your gaze forward over your right fingertips. Shoulders should be stacked directly over the hips. Outer right thigh should be wrapping underneath you, and inner right thigh pulling it up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to wrap that right glute underneath you. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Press into the outer edge of that left foot. Sink down into that right knee a little bit more. So your right knee is right over the ankle. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. On your next inhale, like somebody's pulling your right arm, start to hinge forward and then tip forward to side angle pose. So what we're going to do in side angle is take our left arm next to our bicep so that we have one long line of energy from our left fingertips all the way down to the outer left foot. And I want you to stay lifted so that you're not crunched over like this, right? We want a nice long torso, nice long spine in this side angle. So left arm is here. You take that right arm and bring it up parallel to the left. So a lot of core work here, a lot of glute work here. And here's where you really want to wrap that right glute underneath you. Pull your navel in towards your spine. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, rise back up to warrior two. Straighten that front leg. And then exhale, bend back into warrior two. You're going to windmill your arms down to frame your front foot. So we're in a high lunge position. I'm sorry, low lunge. And then you're going to start to toe heel walk your foot, your right front foot, to the left side of your mat. Then, so your left foot should be sort of behind that left hand. Then you're going to drop your right knee right behind your right wrist. So if you know where we're going into pigeon pose. Keep the left foot flexed. Drop the left knee down. Release the left toes. So in pigeon, we want our right heel to be directly under our left hip bone. And we want our right knee directly behind our right wrist. So you're not really pulling that arm or jacking that right leg up to parallel. It's at an angle, right? Keep that right foot flexed. And then if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can slide the left leg backwards. Turn your shoulders and your whole torso to face the front of the mat. Start to come up onto your fingertips. And then start to squeeze the right glute and the left glute together. So like you're trying to squeeze your hips together. And that way you can get a little bit lighter on those fingertips. We're literally trying to squeeze our legs together here energetically. Take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. Slowly start to walk your hands back down. You're going to tuck the left toes underneath you, lift the left knee up, and then using the strength of your low belly, on your next inhale breath, you're going to pull the right knee into your chest like a mountain climber. So take an inhale breath, and an exhale out. Inhale, pull that knee up, and then exhale, we're meeting in downward facing dog. If you'd like to extend that right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip to just shake out that leg, you can do so. And we're just meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, breath through the nose. Exhale, breath out. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. As you inhale, you're going to come up halfway. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to standing, come all the way up. And then as you exhale, hands come in prayer in front of your heart. Inhale into chair pose. Sit your hips low. This time we're going to shift the weight into our left foot, hover the right, and step that right foot back for high lunge. Start to tip forward, find that 45-degree angle. Take your hands into prayer. Shift forward onto the right toes, all the way onto that left foot, and stand up into warrior three. And then like that pendulum, we're going to start swinging our body upright, taking the right leg forward. And then swinging it back. So lots of balance on that left leg here. Try to keep the hips squared with one another. Try to keep that core nice and tight, strong core, strong back. Always maintain a very small micro bend in the left knee. Breathing through this. And take your time. You don't need to rush through Control and slow movement is the name of the game here. You should definitely be feeling this in your outer left glute. So gluteus medius. This is hamstring. This is back muscles. All of the above. Move through this one more time. And then we're meeting in warrior 3. Bend into the left knee. You're going to place the right foot back at a 45-degree angle and open up for warrior 2. So left heel is right in line with your right arch. Front heel is in the same line as your back arch. Arms open up wide like a T, shoulders are stacked right over the hips. Gaze is over your left fingertips. Bend into that left knee. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. See if you can wrap the inner thigh of your your left leg up towards the ceiling and wrap your left outer thigh and your left glute underneath you so that you're taking your tailbone towards the ground. Inhale through the nose and exhale out. Like somebody has your left hand, you're going to start to reach forward and then tip to 12 and 6 on the clock, right? So we're coming into side angle pose. Then you're going to take your right arm and take it right next to your right ear. Make sure that you're still bending into that left leg. We're going to take our left arm parallel with the right. Squeeze the left glute, press into the outer edge of the right heel here, the right outer edge of the foot. Make sure that your left knee is right over your ankle. We're holding here. See if you can spin your shoulders to face the side of the room. Core work, leg work, glute work. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're rising back for warrior 2. Straighten that left leg out for a moment. And then exhale, bend into that front knee. We're going to windmill our arms down to frame our left foot. Release the back heel. And then you're going to start to toe heel walk the left foot towards the right side of your mat behind your left hand. And then, the right hand. And then drop the left knee right behind the left wrist. Keep the left foot flexed. You're going to drop the right knee down, untuck the right toes, and we're in pigeon pose. And you may need to slide that right leg back a little bit more. But our left heel should be right underneath our right hip bone. And our left knee should be right behind our left wrist. So our left leg is at an angle. Then start to squeeze your hips together, squeeze your glutes together, squeeze your legs together towards the midline of your body and come upright on your fingertips. Maybe so much so, you're squeezing so much that you can actually lift your fingers off of the mat. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Very slowly start to walk your hands back, place the palms down onto the mat. Tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee, and then with that next inhale breath, we're going to draw the left knee in towards our chest like a mountain climber. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, pull the knee up. And then exhale back to downward dog. And an option to lift that left leg, bend into the knees, make little circles to roll out that right hip or left hip. And we're returning to downward facing dog, being there. Deep breath in. And exhale out. And now come up onto your tippy toes. You're going to bend the knees, sit your ribs back down onto your thighs. So you're sitting down to this sort of spring-like position. You're going to look forward, and you're going to jump up to the front of your mat. See if you can make it all the way to your sit bone. So when I do this, I like to cross my legs, and this requires a lot of low belly core work here. So I'm going to try to jump through and sit down into a cross-legged position. So look forward. You're going to send your hips forward. Inhale, breath. Exhale. launch yourself forward and maybe sit down into that cross-legged position. So it's a little bit of core work, a little bit of arm work there. And then we're going to come into boat pose. So release the legs, and a couple options for boat. You can have the feet flat on the mat with your hands behind your thighs. This is option one. What I want you to do here is lean back so that you have a flat back and you're right on your sit bones. Option two is to lift the legs off of the mat with your hands behind your hamstrings. Option three is to reach your arms forward, palms facing up. Option four, straighten the legs completely. And we're holding here for 10, 9, breathe in, 8, 7, 6, reach your chest up, forward, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to just lower halfway down. So you're going to lower onto your low back into low boat. And then exhale, come back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back to boat. Inhale, lower. Exhale, back. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Never let your shoulders touch the ground. Inhale. Exhale. And then inhale. And release all the way down to the mat. You're going to bend your knees and place the soles of your feet flat onto the mat. And you may need a pillow. Actually, I highly recommend getting a pillow or a foam roller or a yoga block if you have one. We're going to lift our hips up off of the mat. And you're going to place a prop underneath your sacrum. So it's the bony part of your pelvis in between your tailbone and your low back and like your lumbar spine. Just have your arms next to your sides. Extend your right leg straight out in front of you so that your right heel is rested onto the mat. Already you should feel an opening in that right hip flexor. If you would like to take this further, draw your left knee in towards your chest, grab your left knee with your left hand, and just hold it there. Continue to straighten through that right heel. So straighten the right leg, extend the right leg straight forward through the right heel. Keep the right heel flexed, right foot flexed. If you want to go even deeper, you take your left knee towards your left armpit. You should really feel nice, deep stretch in that right hip flexor here. Couple deep breaths here. One more breath in. And then exhale, gently start to straighten the left leg down towards the mat and bend the right knee. Right knee, right foot is flat on the mat. So here's step one. We can either stay here if this is plenty, or if you would like something deeper, you can take the right knee in towards your chest, grab the right knee with the right hand and just hold it there. Extend the left leg straight through the left heel. Keep the left foot flexed. If you want to go even deeper than that, take that right knee towards your right armpit. So nice opening, nice stretch in that top of the left quad and then the left hip flexor. After all of that core work, this should feel pretty nice. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, very gently start to draw that right knee back up. Bend both knees, place your feet flat onto the mat. And then take your feet out wide and just let your knees knock together. Take your arms next to your side and just enjoy this nice restorative resting pose for a moment. If your eyes are not closed, I encourage you to do so. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, walk your feet back towards the center of your mat. You're going to press into your feet to lift your hips off of the mat and remove the prop from underneath you. Very, very slowly start to lower your back all the way down to the mat. Just very slowly. Take an inhale breath and draw your knees in towards your chest. Take your knees out towards your armpits and then reach down for the outer edges of your feet with your hands. So the knees should be on the inside of your arms at the moment. And you're going to start to take your heels up on top of your knees. So we're eventually coming into happy baby. So from here, then you take your knees out towards your armpits and take your elbows on the inside of your knee for happy baby. So you should be squeezing your legs together into your forearms and your elbows, and then simultaneously pressing your elbows in towards your knees. See if you can take your tailbone and press it down into the mat. Maybe you start to rock from side to side. And then gently start to release the grip of the feet. You're going to take your knees into your chest. Open your arms out wide like a T. And then drop your knees to the left. So we're coming into a supine twist. If you find that your right shoulder is lifted off of the mat when you do this, then place a pillow underneath your knees. If your neck allows it, you can turn your gaze to face your right fingertips. Take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, start to pull your knees back to center. Adjust yourself so that your spine is straight once again. You're going to take your knees back into your chest and then drop them over to the right. If your left shoulder lifts off of the mat, place a pillow underneath your knees. If your neck allows it, you can turn your gaze to face your left fingertips. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're going to draw your knees back to center. This time, just straighten out the legs in front of you, letting the outer edges of the feet flop down towards the mat. Take your arms next to you with the palms facing up. Lift your shoulders off of the mat and pull your shoulder blades together underneath you. And then lift your tailbone off of the mat and see if you can tuck it underneath you towards your heels so that your sacrum is resting more onto the mat. And we're in our final resting pose, so close your eyes And start to let go of any tension, any gripping that you're holding onto in your body. Just let go of that and find a nice relaxation pose. Eyes are closed. Remove the crease from your brow. Unclench your jaw. Remove the tongue from the roof of your mouth. And just find full relaxation. Let go of your breath. I encourage you to stay here for at least 5 minutes, or as long as you'd like, just to enjoy the benefits of this practice and the best part of this practice as well. Please stay here as long as you'd like, and I'm just going to mute the video, shut off the camera, but it'll keep rolling. So I just want to thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you again soon.